What if just 5 minutes a day can strengthen your legs and alleviate that knee pain? Did you know that nearly 25% of all adults will experience some form of knee pain during their lifetime? Knee pain is actually a very common issue. In my practice, I deal with a lot of elderly patients that suffer from arthritic knees, knees that were operated on, knees that they injured, or maybe just weakness. So in today's video, I'm going to show you 5 exercises that's going to take you 5 minutes, which is not only going to strengthen your legs, but it's going to also help alleviate that knee pain. Before we get started, please check with your healthcare provider whether it is okay for you to start exercise. Once he's given the all clear, you're good to go. Now, the highlight of this routine is the combination of strength and mobility. As you'll see, I will explain how the strength and mobility fits into each exercise. Let's start with our first one. And this is called the back glute bridge. So we get into our position. So the first thing you'll notice is how far you can get your heels back to where your fingertips are. Some of you with mobility issues in the knee, or maybe you've had a knee replacement, you won't be able to get your heels to touch your fingertips. That's okay. That's one of the reasons why we do this exercise, because I want us to focus on getting them as far back as you can, and then keeping your shoulders pressed into the ground, and then pushing through the heels of the foot and lifting yourself up as high as you can. Breathing out at the top. We always link our breathing to our exercise routines. And breathe in and out. And as you lift, I want you to feel your bum muscles working. You'll feel your hamstrings working. You'll feel a little bit of the lower back muscles working. But also you're going to feel the quad muscles stretching. Some people will think that they're actually working, but they're actually just stretching. That's the mobility part of this drill. Pushing through the heels and lifting your bum up as high as you can. Some of you might only get up halfway because of the restriction of the quad muscles or the thigh muscles in the front. It's going to limit you to extend your hips up. But I don't want you to give up. I want you to try and push through as far and as high as you can until you can get to a position where you can form a straight line between your shoulders and your knees. It might take a few days, it might take a few weeks, but if you do this daily and consistently, you will get there before you know it. And let's go for 5 more. Oh, I can feel these glutes burning already. 5, 4, 3, breathe out, feel these glutes. 2, and last one, and 1, and relax. So doing a set of 15 to 20 could take you anywhere from around 35 seconds to a minute, depending on how slow and controlled you do this. So that is our first exercise. The second one, we are going to sit up and get our one leg straight out in front of us. Now the important thing is we're going to try and lift this entire leg up to that point and back down again. Some of you might have knee pain. Some of you might have osteoarthritis around the knee, and your knee might be in a little bit of a flexed position like that. In other words, you cannot get your leg completely straight. I will leave a link up here to a video that's going to show you how to exactly get that leg straight. But for now, I want you to focus on contracting this quad muscle, and the next exercise is lifting the leg up off the floor and back down again, keeping that contraction on the muscle as tight as you can. When you're lifting your leg, I do not want to see the leg losing the contraction there. We call it a lag of the quad muscle. So I want you to focus on keeping it contracted, and as soon as you lift, it's got to remain straight all the way. You also keep your toes up to the shin and lift them up and down. And we're going to do 10 of those on each side. 4, 5, wow, I really can feel the quad lighting up. 6, 7, 3 more. That's also going to give you some hamstring mobility in the back because the quad is fighting so hard to get this leg up. 9, and 1 more, and 10. Whoa, that really does work. And let's swap around. Let's do the other side. 1, I think we're on 30 seconds now. 2. But the idea of this video today is not to rush you through the 5 minutes. The idea is to show you these exercises can be done in 5 minutes, or maybe a little bit more, but you have to know the exercises, you have to know what you're feeling for, and you've got to do them correctly. That might take a few tries, but I don't want you to rush through these videos, or rush through these exercises rather, and see how quickly you can complete them. Oh! Okay, so you're going to feel some contraction on these quads. Our next one is going to emphasize the hips. So we're going to be lying on our sides. So we're going to lie on the side. We call this a figure 4. So the position is your knees are not too high up. It's not a 90-90. It is more of a 45-degree on the hip angle and a 45-degree at the bottom angle, where your bum and your heels are in the same line. So what we're going to be doing then is we're going to just tilt the hips forward, this top hip. I want you to tilt it forward so that when we start the movement, I don't want you to move your hips back and do that. If you lift your knee this high, you're doing it wrong. You should only be able to, with a strict hip, lift it that high. That's the highest I can go. I can feel the muscle immediately behind this hip and slowly down. And we keep going. Remember to keep the belly button nice and tight. Always breathe out on effort. Now breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. Okay, there we go. You should feel the muscles just behind the hip joint. The heel rests lightly on top of the other heel on the floor, and I don't want you to push with your big toe or the heel too hard to try and help you lift, because this can be quite challenging if that hip muscle is weak. That's 9. 10, I think that's 10. Let's do another 5. 1. And again, this is going to take you approximately 30 seconds on each side to get through 15 repetitions. If you want to spend a little bit more time on this exercise, I don't want you to rush. 14. 1 more, and 15. Yo. Okay, that works. Let's try the other side. And we just swap around. Same position, nice and comfortable with the arm under the head. You can use a pillow if you want. Making sure you're in the right position and tilting the hips forward, keeping the belly button in nice and tight, always protecting the spine, and lift. You notice that I always put my thumb on the muscle where I want to feel the activity. It's just for my brain to pick up. This is the muscle that I need to work, and it's using that same feedback from my feeling the touch of my finger back to the brain. 5. Breathe out. 6. 7. You see, this is the highest I can lift my knee if I keep my pelvis and my hips controlled. 9. 10. And let's do 5 more. 1. 2. 3. It's burning. 4. And 1 more. And 5. There we go. So our next exercise is called the backward lunge. I have made a complete video of this specific exercise. You can go check it out over here if you want more details on this exercise. Let's get into it. So we'll find ourselves a chair, making sure we can grab this chair just in case we have a balance issue. Keeping our feet just slightly narrow, not too wide, but say about 6 inches apart from each other. You're going to slide your 1 foot back and slightly outwards like that, and then come back up again. And use the same one. We're going to repeat, breathing in and out. 2 and 3. Now, using a chair, you will feel that you are leaning slightly more forward than what you are doing upright. And also the backward lunge allows you to place a little bit less stress on the knee and a little bit more on the glutes and the hip, as opposed to a split squat, this type of squat. That places a lot more emphasis on the knee, or stress on the knee, and it could create a little bit more problems. That's 10, and now we're going to swap to the other side. And we just continue breathing in and out. Now, what's important with this one is the back leg goes out slightly and not too directly behind the front foot, because I want you to be able to see your foot from where you are. If you look down, you should see your entire foot. That means that the knee has moved out slightly to the side. And let's go for a few more. 8, breathing in and out. 9, and just slide the foot, and 10. And there we go. And that is the backward lunge. 10 seconds or 10 repetitions on each side, roughly 30 seconds per side. That gives us another minute. Again, I don't want you to rush through these exercises. I want you to perform them properly. So even if it does take you longer than 30 seconds or a minute per side, do them slowly and uncontrolled. Remember, it's more important to do the exercise properly and feel the actual muscles working than just getting it done. For this exercise, you're going to need either a foam roller or a stability ball that you're going to be placing between yourself and the wall. And I think in this instance, I'll use the foam roller. Okay, so we're going to put the foam roller up against the wall, roughly just below the shoulder blades, or right on top of the apex of the shoulder blades. Then we're going to be leaning slightly backwards against the wall, and our feet's going to be positioned slightly wider than shoulder width, with our toes pointing around about between 8 and 10 degrees. So from here, what we're going to do is keep a nice upright chest, and as we go down, we're going to breathe in and breathe out. Now your hips are going to move slightly towards the wall. I don't want you to just keep your body straight and have your knees move too far over your toes. I actually still want you to bend forward as you go down. So you're going to be leaning slightly forward, breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Keep the alignment of the knees with the toes, making sure that your knees don't fall in or your knees don't go out too far outside your feet. Breathe in and out. If it's too painful for your knees at this point, only go up as far down as you feel comfortable. But with time, you should be able to go down to at least 90 degrees and come back up again. Let's go for a few more. Breathe in, keeping the tummy nice and tight. Breathe out. Breathing is very important. Breathe in and breathe out. And there we go. There are your 5 exercises that you can do in 5 minutes. You don't have to stick to the 5-minute rule. If you enjoy these exercises, you can do 2 to 3 sets of every exercise. But I would much rather have you do them consistently over a longer period of time if you want to get the fastest results. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps a small channel like myself. And leave a comment down below and tell me how your exercises are going. See you next time.